Why? Hello and welcome everybody. Also good morning. Today I kind of wanted to give you the day slash 2 slash 3 update. So it's been like 1 day, 8 hours played for me. And I want to talk about gearing, itemization, Atlas strat, a lot of stuff. So before we get started, just know if you want to go look at the previous progression, you should go look at the previous videos, as you know, that's what it's kind of catered towards. These are the current graphs that I'm using. I'm using a Call to Pyre with Ignite Chance, primarily because of the Ignite Chance and the Cover and Ash on Shield Charge, along with a Heart of Flame. The Heart of Flame is basically a guard skill, but it's also giving me 36% fire damage and Graft Blood gained. Now there is actually, I don't remember the exact one, there is an Ulnatol. So if people who know that, that's the Fizz related one. And the Fizz related one comes with physical damage reduction, or sorry, I think, yeah, physical damage reduction implicit. And it basically gives you a recovery multiplier to your life regen when you're below 50% life and can get you endurance charges. I think I would prefer that over what I'm using, but I gotta go find one with like Graft Blood Gain, because I think Graft Blood Gain is probably one of the most prime stats you can get, because that Graft Blood is basically scaling how much you can bring in, and then you can go back and use the treat. It's also been brought to my attention that you can get maximum fire res on these too. Now, let's go ahead and talk about gear. Immortal Flesh stays. I can actually get a better Immortal Flesh. My regen is pretty bad. Immortal Flesh, super budget item. I'm running Annihilation Approach. That means you probably should not. To understand if you should run Annihilation, go open your Path of Building, plug it in, see if you can sustain the Flame Touch debuff. Remember, always use a bound Rune Graft when you're using Annihilation Approach. It reduces the degen from the Annihilation Approach and scales your gloves. Speaking of gloves, you want to make sure you're running really good gloves. So I, for example, have big Chaos Res, big Fracture, or big Life Regen rate. And instead of that flat life regen, I'd prefer dexterity, but this is working for now. Since I don't have a rational doctrine, this extra life regen I have for my gloves really, really helps. Speaking of life regen for my gloves, I'm still wearing a standard Elder Helm. It would be very good for me to upgrade this Elder Helm to an Archdemon Crown. It's the exact same process for crafting it. You can find this on my website, top right. So it's just Reforged Fire, but instead it's on a +2 base, so that would be way better. But the life regen rate right now is helping me out a lot until I get a rational doctrine. Still using a standard Shaper Shield. I need to upgrade to a 5% life on block, so I need to sell this one and get another. But that flat life regen right now is doing heavy lifting. I snagged myself a 6-link Cloak of Flame, and speaking of Cloak of Flame, let's bring some attention to the League mechanic. For people who are struggling to do the 24-wave Fortress, I'm going to give you a tip. Number 1, get yourself a Cloak of Flame. Make sure the ignite duration is a little bit above minimum, so you can see mine is close to maximum. It rolls 40 to 75. Do not use a Foulborn Cloak. With that being said, the ignite duration you can get from here, and the ignite duration you can get from here, and if you really want to go overkill, you can even grab a little bit of ignite duration right here. These ignite modifiers will help you so much with the fortress mechanic, because you will explode an area, and all the mobs that try coming in from that area will also just chain explode and die. So that helps a ton with doing the actual fortress encounters. Ever since I set that up, I very rarely fail. Of course, when I recorded the video yesterday, I failed because it was like a turbo map and I wasn't as geared. My amulet is still pretty bad. It's just life dot multi with like some res. This ring is basically chaos res, and this ring I really should not have. Even though the 2 max fire res is nice, getting myself to chaos cap would be much better in my eyes. And I can also just try to move the 2 max fire res onto a graft. I can also move the max fire res onto a jewel, so I feel like the opportunity cost here is not maybe worth it in this exact moment in time. Speaking of jewels, I still have a cluster set up. A lot of people ask why to use Fan the Flames. Simply put, the reason it's not in the POB is the past 3 leagues I put it in my POB, nobody understands what it does. They're very confused, so I took it out in place of the X-Arc gloves. I personally prefer having Ignite Prolif on the X-Arc gloves, but this league I've used like close to 200 embers and nothing has popped up, so we're just using a Fan the Flames. TLDR, when your Hinekora explodes, so your Hinekora is this thing right over here, it's going to roll your chance to ignite. To see your chance to ignite, go to your offense tab, select default auto attack, scroll down, and look at your chance to ignite from main hand. The reason you can actually look at this value is because unless you have ignite to attacks, this is your global ignite chance. Your RF doesn't ignite, your fire trap ignites, but that's not Hinekora, right? Now, what I would like to do is just get rid of this, put this on my gloves so I lose like fire multi, and then I save like 1, 2, 3, 4 points, and then I can try pushing into like a 6 life mastery setup or something else. So that's my ideal thing, but we don't have that right now. Another big thing is Nebulous. I spent about 7 divines for this Nebulous, and it's pretty crazy. So number 1, 8% increased LE damage per 1% fire, cold, or lightning above 75%. We are 90 max, so that's disgusting. And then the implicit is also giving 42 LE damage on top of that. Very crazy weapon. A lot of people ask, why are you not using the recombinated weapon? Simply put, recombinating can be annoying. Simply making currency and buying a strong unique weapon is not annoying, right? So that's why I'm using this. Nebulous is going to be better than your standard weapons. It's going to be stronger than a +1 dot multi. It's probably even stronger than a +2 dot multi. It's probably more comparable to like a +2, so +1 all spell skill, +1 fire damage over time multiplier, and damage over time multiplier. However, Nebulous is pure righteous fire damage. So what does that mean? That means because it's just giving you a ton of increase, it's scaling your RF a ton, right? So right now in my hideout, our RF is about 343k. If I take off Nebulous, it goes to 219k. It's a pretty big boost, right? So that's why we're currently running Nebulous. I really like it a lot, and we're going to work on upgrading the rest of our gear. As for where I go from here, it may be a Cogwork ring angle. It may be a +1 fire dot multi. Definitely an Arc Demon Crown. Maybe touching up on my jewels. I'm running a couple of like 2 property jewels basically, so like fire multi life. I definitely want to start tattooing my section here to really make use of the Foulborn Red Dream, although tattoos have been quite expensive. Now, with that being said, I think I covered most of this stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I do have a Breach Lord Ascendancy, but I'm not using it. If I did use it, I would take this, but not really. All right. I don't know if I'm going to clear the whole map because I've kind of yapped a bit, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and put in right over here, actually. I have a 16.5. I'm doing my typical Harvey Beyond. You can find the Harvey Beyond on my website, Pohx.net. It's in the top right where the Atlas section is. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that, and we're going to go send it. Now, the Harvey Beyond is really good at the beginning of the league, primarily because I can sell a bunch of stuff. Actually, this is for fossil crafting. Oh, my Insane Cat card sold. That's kind of cool. That dropped off Kosis. Harvey Beyond racks in a bunch of currency in the form of like Horizon Shards, annuls, fracturing, the Beyond currency, tainted currency. It has a whole bunch of gumball, and Horizons have a lot of value in the early game because people want them for map completion. Harvey Beyond is pretty tough. I would say if you want to be able to tackle Harvey Beyond, you need to be a mixture of the 90 loadout and maybe a little bit more. I didn't realize this rolled Elder Circles, yikes. Yeah, these Elder Circles are actually going to kill me. That's not what I meant to do. Well, that was fun. We're just going to kind of let the Prolif just chain explode there, hopefully. Alright, yep. I will state that if you want to do Harvey Beyond, it's a lot of clicking right now. You could turn off the Horizons, but it's still a lot of clicking. Now, a lot of people are going to ask why I'm using the Annihilation Approach Boots. The Annihilation Approach Boots give you permanent adrenaline in the form, and what adrenaline does is 10% physical damage reduction, 100% increased damage, 25% attack speed, and 25% movement speed, and immune to freeze and immune to chill. The immune to freeze and chill means you can switch your main Pantheon, so you can get additional damage reduction. That's one of the big reasons I like Annihilation. Is you not only get, you lower your life, but you get crazy speed, and you get damage reduction, which I think is phenomenal. I would say at this stage in the league, for players trying to make currency, if you don't know anything, I think Harvest is always a pretty surefire bet. Harvest typically racks in a lot of currency, and it's just very simple to do. You just literally do the plots and sell the life force, right? There's no, like, complicated shenanigans, really broken clicking. You can even do it Alk and Go. Alk and Go means, like, you don't need to use any Scarabs. Of course, you would benefit from Scarabs, but they're not needed to make currency. Something like Harbinger, like I'm doing now, thrives on investment. The only exception to this strategy would be if you're using an Obelisk Scarab. Obelisk Scarab doesn't really care about your investment. You kind of just want to go. The reason this strategy is thriving off of currency investment in the form of Scarabs is because the drops from Beyond, alongside the fact that we put 13 Harbingers in a map. So because of that, that's kind of where it scales, right? If you don't care about the Beyond portion, you can get away with like a simpler setup. So here I'm going to just disable the webcam. You can see how fast this bar at the bottom is going to get pushed unless I die right here. This is like the Ignite Prolift doing the crazy heavy lifting on breach encounters. It's very disgusting. It is like very good. Very good. And then the mobs get pulled in. Here's a boss. My game just crashed. Right. Okay, well, we'll end the video there. I think that was enough footage. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. That should pretty much summarize it. If you liked the video, please feel free to, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later on my stream at twitch.tv/Pohx. Take care. See you guys all later.